Right.
What's going on, everybody? Manny Reads Comics here. Welcome back. I'm going to talk about Eve number 3 this time. It's a great issue. I'm really mad that we only got 5 coming out, but it is what it is. But I do have a special guest here to help me recap and review them with Insertnamecomics, aka Sergio. How's it going, man?
Well, guys, Manny, thank you so much for having me on, man. I'm hyped to talk about Eve number three, man. I actually just finished reading it, so I'm excited, man.
It's fresh
Thanks for
on your
having me.
mind. That's good. That's good because,
Fresh
man,
on the mind.
a lot happened on this one. So, um, first of all, yeah, I want to say thank you for coming on. You were one of the first ones to respond to me, so very, very appreciative on that. And I hope we have fun
Yeah,
tonight. Yeah. So,
yeah, for sure. It
so
was good. It was a good issue. So I'm sure we have lots to say, man.
oh yeah, no. So on my notes here, I do like the way I do my notes. I make like a little spot that makes it like what my thoughts were when I was reading it when I'm taking it down, so I
Mm,
don't forget. And there's
perfect.
so many little spots of what I'm thinking on this one. But start off the book. I instantly before we even start going back to Eve number 2, the ending of Eve number 2, we see Eve meet up with some kids, and we don't know
Mm-hmm.
if they're good, if they're gonna mess with her. Wexler somewhere else, he's taking care of. I don't want to say zombies with the infected. I guess you could say the infected
Yeah,
humans.
I was thinking about what do we call these people? I think infected is a good word.
Infected, yeah, and I keep going back to thinking like it's a. I don't know if you ever seen the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it reminds me of.
yeah, for sure.
But anyways, we see these kids, and as soon as I open this book, I know that they are good. One of the kids tells Eve to duck. She ducks. Immediately, they shoot this. There's an infected right behind Eve she didn't know about, and they hit it. And my first thought was, is it dead? Because they never even talk about that creature again. So I was like, is it even dead? Is it kind of like a zombie type situation? But
Yeah,
but then these kids, they're definitely survivors. They keep telling her like, "Well, you can't stay here. Here's some food. Here's some strawberries, but you can't stay here. You need to go." I don't. Have you been reading Noctera at all?
you know what? I haven't done any
Oh
of
man,
the
you need.
terror stuff, man. Speaking of that, man, it's funny because I've got all the issues,
Oh, you
but
have them.
I'm
Okay.
so behind on my reading that I haven't gotten around to checking that out yet.
At least you
Crazy.
had them. That I was gonna say you need to fix that mistake.
Yeah.
but just so okay, so I don't want to spoil Noctera for you, but I was gonna say
Mm.
that these kids do remind me of like the main character in the fact that they are survivors. They aren't trying to like have somebody come save them. Like they're not waiting to be saved. They are taking initiative
Yeah.
and surviving. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But anyways, they do reveal that the creature is dead. They said that once you see one, there's bound to be many to come after them. But then as the story progresses, I think this girl's name is Martina. They put like her name down in the map when they like showed where they were staying. Um,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That was. I like that technique though, eh?
it was so
You got
fast.
the like you got the floor plan of like the
Uh-huh.
building that they're in, and then how each panel has got like almost like an arrow pointing to which room they're in at that point in the conversation in the story.
Exactly.
That's good.
And instead of like showing so much dialogue explaining this is this, this is that, this is this, like they showed it really well with the map. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but she says that President K is the one that gave them all the equipment, and apparently there's been like it's like a quick backstory like that you can kind of miss. It's not really important to the story, but it's like there's been so many back to back pandemics that this President K she made this like thing where the population would be ready. There's bikes, there's equipment, and even the train runs as long as there's power. The train will run. So that
Yeah.
is speaking of the train. That's what Martina pretty much says that I'm gonna take you to this train, and it's gonna take you to. I already forgot where she was supposed to go.
Chicago.
That's where she ended up, but I forgot where she was
Yeah.
supposed to go. Uh,
Oh,
Washington.
it looked like on the map they were headed to like Seattle, like the
Yeah.
northwest.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
That's
how,
what I was thinking.
that's where had Wexler had punched the I guess a hole in the map or something, indicating that where evil's headed. I don't know.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
I think.
That's yeah. That's
That's what I.
exactly. Yeah. You're skipping ahead a few
Mm,
a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. No. But they one of the things that they mentioned was Osiris. That they're talking. That there was a room for the gods that where they hear the gods talk and they say
mm-hmm.
Osiris. And my first thought on that was I'm pretty sure that's Eve's dad,
Mm-hmm.
or just like one of the scientists that's up there in space right now. Because
Yeah.
I mean nothing else would make sense honestly. But
Yeah.
it's kind of it's not never confirmed, but it's kind of confirmed when they show the Eve's dad and he knows exactly where she is and what's going on with her.
Yeah.
But Martina, she's kind of a badass, like she's going, she's telling them like, hey, this is where you're gonna go. I'm gonna take you here. Um, Once I come back, I'm never coming back to this place, and if I do come back, kill me instantly. And like she's just kind of like, no, we're not playing games here. This is what we gotta do, and let's do it.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Now, did you see that turn coming of why she didn't want herself to come back? Did you see that? Or?
absolutely not. That's the one thing that I really put as a plus for me because
Yeah.
there's just twist after twist after twist in this book. Um,
Even going back to issue number two, man. Like with the whole the infected,
mhm.
these other like people. I didn't see that coming. I don't think they didn't hint it at all.
They
In
didn't.
issue one, did they?
I thought it was gonna be like just a barren world, like there was nothing.
Like a survival type,
Yeah,
and then they drop these infected
literally drop. They
creatures.
literally drop into the water next to
Yeah,
her and
literally
everything.
drop.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is a nice twist. I didn't see the story going there at all.
Yeah, no, this writer, I've never heard of this writer before, but Victor Lavelle, man, he's
Victor Laval, yeah.
Lavelle, yeah.
Victor Laval, yeah. Yeah, it's the first time I've read any of his work, but it's good, man. I'm digging it so far.
Yeah.
And like you said, like the twists continue in issue three.
And they're good
Right?
twists. It's nothing like it's not like a twist that like, oh well, that's dumb, or what's the point of that? Like each one is like, oh man, all right, what's next? Like how are they gonna get out
Yeah,
of this? Like you want more. Like so I do like that. Yeah. Um,
yeah.
Going back to Eve's dad up in space. Um, Once like so the dad knows that there's still a chance that the world might not be saved. Everybody else, all the other humans, they're like, Eve's awake, she's doing her thing, it's 100% this is going to happen, we're going to be going back home to Earth. They don't think that anything could go wrong. And Wexler, going back to like issue 2, we find out that Wexler was made to kind of keep her dad in check, like not be a right hand man sort of way, but like kind of like just keep him in check. But
Yeah.
he kind of takes it too far here, right? When we see him, he's just like, do you like why are your scientists excited? Like why are they so excited? Like there's no 100% success rate, right? And then he
Yeah.
starts taking it even farther when he's like, what are you guys gonna do when you go back? And the dad's like, well, we will rebuild. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, why do you guys deserve it? Why there's if you guys were machines and you messed up as
Mm-hmm.
many times as you humans have messed up, then you wouldn't we would scrap you, right? So why do I need to give you another chance? And you just see the whole palette, the color palette turn from like the teddy bear color, light color, and everything to everything's just red, and you're just like,
Yeah.
take me.
Yeah.
What's that
So
movie?
when he said that, I definitely I got vibes like, oh, okay, something's going on with Wexler, like,
Yeah,
but I mean, I wasn't like, I still wasn't too sure, and then we see his progression and the things he's saying and how he's saying it, and it's like, oh, okay,
I did, man.
Wexler is not all he's like. He's definitely he's turning here.
Exactly, and I can't remember what that movie was called. Where like it's like a space. I want to say it's called Space Odyssey with like there's like a little red AI that has like the red eye.
Yeah, that's Sam was the nickname of the, I believe,
Yeah, okay, Sam,
the AI,
and he
right?
like yeah, he just like kind of goes takes over. That's kind of the vibes that I got.
The
Um,
Space 2001, a Space Odyssey. I
yes,
think.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes that sounds right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to go on record to say that I never trusted this bear from day one. I did
Oh,
not
really?
like
Eh?
him,
You see?
man.
Okay, I did not see that coming at all. So when he's like, obviously you see by the end of the issue, like, okay, this bear is like, he's not out to protect you,
Yeah.
you know. I didn't see it coming at all.
Well,
I was pleasantly surprised by that.
I'm hoping they explain what happened because he obviously changed in that moment. It wasn't like he was always programmed to do this because he's been protecting her. He could have killed her immediately if he wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
But he's been doing everything in his power to protect her. It's at that moment where he just like, why do humans deserve a second chance? It's like his programming just kind of clicked, you
So
know.
you think that just kind of happened just like then, like it wasn't like he didn't have intentions before, or something kind
I
of
want to
made him turn.
say I want to say that maybe um, it's like the robots. You know how like anytime that any kind of AI, whatever, it's like the robot is just doing what it was programmed to do, and that was to the best of humanity, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it's just like it is doing what it thinks is best for humanity, or it could be that someone on that space station is sabotaging and like they
Mm,
mess with it. I doubt that, but then again, there's so many twists in this. Like it could
who
be
knows,
anything,
man?
you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then we see Wexler come around over the corner. He's all bloody from fighting the infected, and he falls upon where those kids were holed up. And man, I
Mm.
out loud, I said, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no!" Like these kids, they're not ready. And man, it was so sad. Like you just no, there's no movement. This is not animated. This isn't anything. But I could just see it, man. Like just like hear it. You know what I mean? Like he's just
He just tore through
like
those kids.
easy. And he even said it himself. They were no trouble, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't like that, man. I liked it. I liked it as a story, but man, my heart was like, oh no, these kids, like man, they're just
Mm-hmm.
surviving. But meanwhile, we got Martina and Eve, and they arrive at the station, and then they're just waiting for that train to show up. And this is where Martina kind of explains like what it, why she looks like she's giving up because technically she is giving up, and she reveals that she's changing. She is infected and she's changing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
this gets me wondering: is the infection, does it does it require you to be a certain age maybe to be, because like all these kids are fine. Eve is fine,
Yeah.
you know. So I guess now that I think about it a little bit, didn't they kind of explain that in the second issue? Webster said you're infected as soon as you came out into this world. You were
Yeah.
infected.
As soon as you came out of
Okay,
her stasis pod, she became infected.
that's
Uh,
right.
but
So
I had the same question to you, man. How exactly with the virus, like, is it activated like once these kids reach a certain age because the other kids seem to be okay, or so that there's still definitely lots of mystery, lots to kind of unravel.
yeah, because have they even figured out what the virus is? Is there a an antidote? I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's at this point, man, I feel bad for Eve because I thought that she was getting a friend, she was getting a partner in crime. You know, like she was gonna, this is gonna be like a best friend growing up or something, and then we find out she's about to die. If she doesn't die from the infection, Wexler is gonna definitely help her out there, right?
Well, I think definitely the writer Victor Lavallee. I think he finessed everybody. I don't think anybody saw that coming because
There's
most
no
of the
way.
covers, like issue number one, it seems like they're going to be like
Best
buddy
buds. Yeah,
adventure and all that. So like that's her right hand man, right? But it turns out nah, yo. So that's cool. I'm digging that.
that was man, that was a twist. I think that was like Sixth Sense level twist. You know what I mean? But
It's pretty cool.
so
But
then
I'm kind of disappointed now because I didn't realize it's only a five
yeah,
issue, really, eh?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I'm hoping
Okay.
just like Once in Future. I don't know if you've read
Uh-huh.
that, but that one, it was supposed to be, I think 5 6 issues, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
on issue 19. You know, people loved it so much, so maybe if this story, if there's a way to continue this story, hopefully it does. You know.
I'm honestly shocked and kind of like, I almost want to say, not worried, but like this world that they've created, it seems so large. This story seems like one of those epic kind of adventure tales that
Right.
go on for quite some time. So I don't know how they're gonna wrap it up in like in two issues. So I mean, I'm definitely curious to see how they do that now. For sure.
At the very least, I feel like they could wrap up Eve's story, but there's so many other stories that could happen in this world. Most likely,
Yeah.
I mean the scientists returning, if they return, that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
different story right there. How are you gonna rebuild? How are they gonna take advantage of this new chance without Wexler? Hopefully, Wexler gets taken care of, man.
Man,
They're
that's
gonna send him to
crazy.
space. No.
That's nice.
No.
5 issues. Okay. All right. Two more to go then.
So Wexler arrives. He takes care of
Mm-hmm.
Martina. They get into like a little battle. That's a quick battle. Um, but then he contacts Eve, and he tells her, "Hey, like I'm still alive. I'm good. Let's meet up in Chicago." And
Mm-hmm.
Eve is just so naive. Like she's just like the rest of us. Like we didn't see that coming. And
Mm-hmm.
but then we see that someone was listening. Someone was listening to that conversation, and they go up to Chicago as well to meet up. And right as Wexler is about to do the finishing move, Eve is hugging him and everything. This mystery person comes and snipes him. Like that was badass.
Mm-hmm.
I just immediately took him out. I don't know if he took or the mystery person. I'm not sure if they took him out or if they just kind of like surprised Wexler. But
Yeah.
it does
Yeah.
look like he's out for the moment.
It looks like he's out. That looks like a headshot.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good shot. That was a good shot.
I mean, yeah.
But this person, as they're removing their helmet, they announce that, I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to save you. And
Mm-hmm.
before I reveal who it was, what did you think it was gonna be? Who did you think it was gonna be? This mystery person. They got this badass armor. We don't know what they
Man, you
look
know what?
like.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. So um, I was talking with well, just on Twitter with the writer this week, and he had mentioned he had posted
That's
something
pretty
where he's
badass.
like, oh, you're gonna be surprised. There's a big thing, da, 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 right? So I guess I had that in the back of my head as I'm reading,
Yeah.
and right before I turned that page, before the reveal, I thought to myself, what could it be that is like this big shock? And for whatever reason, my mind went to maybe it's like a clone or
Okay.
something of Eve.
Right.
And then sure enough, it turns out it looks like it's like an older version
Yeah.
of Eve.
That's okay. I was gonna say
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be a clone. My first
Mm-hmm.
thought, I didn't have the writer's help. All right, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
My first thought was I thought it was gonna be her mom. You know,
Mm,
we've heard kind of stories. I don't know if they like said for sure that she was dead or not. I can't remember, but
I don't
I was
remember
thinking
that.
even if she was dead, maybe that's a fake out, and it was gonna be her
Yeah.
mom. And then she
I,
removed
I, I
it.
would have thought the same thing, to be honest, bro. Like if I had not known
Yeah,
that what there's some big like kind of surprise, some big hook. My mind probably definitely would have gone to like it being the mom as well because
but here's
it
the other
seems.
thing. Here's the other thing, though.
Mm,
I also believe I truly, if I had to choose, I believe exactly what you're saying. That it's a clone of her, or maybe I was talking to a friend of mine, Carlos from Omni City Comics. Um, we both agreed that it could be like a clone or like a failed experiment kind of thing. Like that's the first Eve, and there's many Eves they've been
yeah,
trying to do, and who knows
yeah,
what, because she is older. Um,
for sure.
and we were thinking maybe like it's the original Eve. If not a clone, then the Eve that we know is the clone, and she's the
Right.
original Eve, right? Uh,
That makes more sense to
it
me.
it could be all that, but I was also
Yeah.
thinking, what if it's a few? And I don't want this. Let me get this straight. Like I hate time travel. Flash is one of my favorite characters, but I still hate time travel.
Okay.
So what if it was a future Eve though? Because she knew that Wexler was bad. How does she know that Wexler was bad? How does was she there when he killed everybody else? Like,
Mm,
how would she know to snipe Wexler if she wasn't,
yeah.
if she didn't have that information? So I'm thinking, what if she's a future Eve? But I'm gonna go on record. I don't want that to be. I don't want that to happen.
I gotta say, I'm of a similar mind, bro. I don't know how I feel if it was like a time traveling thing.
I hate that. I hate it.
My gut is telling me, yeah, the Eve that we know is the clone. That's the
Mm-hmm.
original Eve.
Yeah.
But also too, it the way the older Eve is drawn, I almost thought it could be a brother because she didn't exactly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It didn't exactly look like clearly like a female, like 100%,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I don't know. I took it. I'm like, is that a dude or is that like is that
I
a
didn't.
girl?
I didn't even think
I don't
about
know,
that.
man.
But I mean, like, if it's a clone, like, you could definitely do that. Like, I'm
You
gonna get
know what I
the
mean?
DNA and I'm gonna make it a male or a female.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but she does say I'm you.
Yeah.
So
So I figure, yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
true. It makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
But that's the end. That's how it leaves off, and you're like, oh my god, there's only two more
Yeah,
issues left. Like, what the heck? Um,
that's great.
so for me, after reading all of that, I gave this a 9 out of 10, and like just solely for the back to back twist. Like, really, it's just so many twists, and they're good twists. I think that Wexler being a villain is it's kind of a cliche, like the robot is a villain kind of thing, but it
Hmm.
doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel overused in this. You know,
Okay.
I really like Wexler as the villain. The characters are pretty simple. Like Martina is just straightforward. The kids are just, they're just survivors. Wexler is a bad guy. Eve is trying to save the world. The scientists just want to go home. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, the characters are just, nothing's too complex. And then
Hmm.
finally, like, the danger in comic book and in real life, the danger is real. Like, that they're trying to warn you. And the writer actually put a note at the end of this book of saying, like, he writes to the younger audience without lying to them, without trying to say that there is no danger in the real world, like, and presents the problem so that the young people aren't shielded from it. So, like, I do appreciate that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that page at the end
Yeah,
by
Victor.
the writer. Yeah.
I usually don't read those. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they're just talking about themselves or something. But something told
Okay.
me I needed to read this one, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
But what's your review, man? What do you think?
Uh, I'll be honest, man. I think knowing now that it's 5 issues,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of changed my perspective a little bit
Yeah.
because some of the criticism that I had about this book was in terms of like the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it almost seemed like those kids, those survivors, were an afterthought. Like we barely met him, and then we moved on to like the next portion of her journey.
Yeah.
And even like on the train ride, she was like, I guess she started off in New York, and then like boom, she's in Chicago, and
Yeah.
then uh, Wexler was there, and he's on foot, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
really from one pilot to the next, I was like, oh,
And
okay,
it makes
that
no
was
sense because
like a weird kind of like jump.
yeah.
But knowing now that it's 5 issues, you know, it makes sense kind of at the faster pace, right? Like
Right.
you kind of, right? But even so, like, I would have liked to have more like interaction with like those survivors there. But other than that, honestly, man, I enjoyed this issue like very much.
Mm-hmm.
I had a smile the whole time I was reading it, and then like the twists and the turn, like damn, okay, like okay, Wester's evil, oh shit. Then the clone there, oh man, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was fun in terms of like a rating out of 10. I'd probably give it like a solid. I'll give it a solid 8.
8. Yeah. I
Give it
mean,
a solid, yeah.
I that's what I was about to say. I was like, I think anything above a 7, really. But I had to give this one a 9 just because I was just so excited about it. Like, just the whole
Mm-hmm.
twist. Um, and kind of like you're
Yeah.
saying, like the pacing. I was thinking the same thing too with Wexler just showing up. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I don't care what kind of robot you are. Like, you're racing a train, man. Like, the train is going fast. Like, there are no
Yeah.
stops,
Yeah.
and so that made zero sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I was
but
like, damn, yo, I don't. Even if you sprint it, I'm sure like that must have taken like days or I don't know what. But
yeah,
so yeah, just in terms of that stuff. But you know what I would have. You know what I for me issue two was the stronger one of
really.
what I really liked in issue two was we got to see kind of Eve. She just kind of talking to her mom,
Hmm.
talking to herself, but talking to her mom like,
Yeah,
"Hey mom, I'm gonna start sailing now, and hey mom, you gotta like, stay with me, keep your eyes on me." So those kind of like, heartwarming moments, and she's still, at the end of the day, she's just a kid, right? And she wants her mom or her dad to kind of help her out, keep their eyes on her, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I believe despite that, I'm still really enjoying this series, man. Yeah.
That's a you saying that, that's actually a stronger argument for me to say that it was the mom and not a clone of Eve or anything, because like keep your eyes on me, it's kind of like a foreshadowing of, I
Mm,
don't know, I'm just saying I want it to be her mom. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So you're still hoping out that the Eve, the older one, might be her mom, or
the amount of times that we've been twist in this book series so far, it tells me like I can't take anything at face value, right?
yeah.
So it might have said like, oh yeah, I'm Eve, I'm you, but I don't know. It could be a trick. I don't know.
Yeah. I
but
can
uh,
see that. I can see that.
but I do like that you pointed out that she talks to herself, because in the very first issue, it's like me reading it. It she just does a good job of talking to herself, in the fact where I think she is talking to somebody else. I think that someone else is responding to her. Like, she's just a child. She's got full of energy, and she needs to save the world.
It's believable, right?
Yeah,
Like, I think it was it an issue too? She had that one scene. Oh, excuse me. She had that one scene where she's sitting like on the bench up high, and she's like, "Oh, my butt hurts" or something like
yeah,
that. And,
yeah.
just those moments where she's talking to herself, it
Like a
sounds like
kid.
a kid. So it's written well, right? It's got the voice of an 11-year-old, right? So
Yeah.
believable in that aspect. Yeah, it's good though.
No, yeah, I really like this issue though. Do
Yeah.
you have anything else you wanna say about this?
I honestly, dude, what I'm stuck on is five issues. Man,
Man,
I can't. Go.
I'm saying it could probably, maybe, if more people keep buying it, it could probably continue after those five. But
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, I'll be on like the edge of my seat for these last two issues, man. Seeing how they wrap it up, man. Yeah, it's
I'm
good
a,
so far. Definitely solid. Uh, 8 out of 10. So that's like a equivalent to what, an A?
yeah,
Something
that's
around,
a B
right?
B plus, whatever.
Plus
No,
A, yeah,
now I'm upset that I told you it's five issues, man. Like, I feel like, how would you have reacted at the fifth issue to see that it ended, and you didn't
Oh,
even know that it was coming to an end? Like,
yeah, that would have been crazy. I mean, what?
what is it
But
like? No,
yeah, yeah,
no. Well, again, like I said, appreciate you for coming on. That's gonna be the wrap up for this. Anything you need to plug or anything like that? Because like you said, you got Insert Name Comics on Instagram. You got the
yeah.
House of Nerd show on YouTube, which is a great. I've been to a couple of the shows, their live shows, and
Hey, thank you so much,
I
man.
think
Yeah,
I think you're the one that created the game, the guest the artist game.
I did. Yeah,
That
I
I,
came up with it on the last episode. On this past Sunday's episode. Yeah, so you just try to have fun the people watching, whether it's live on
and no,
YouTube.
that was a great way to keep the audience like captivated. Like, I
Yeah,
really liked it. It's a great
yeah.
show.
We just at the end of the day, the House of Nerds show is just three nerds and just talking about the comic books that we love. And we want to get the audience involved as much as possible, right?
All right.
And hopefully, that vibe is coming out and we're doing some fun for fellow nerds, man.
No, I think you're doing a good job. I think it was
Hey,
definitely
thank
really
you.
fun.
Appreciate
I
it.
was sad I
Yeah,
had to go, but like, I had to go.
yeah,
But
man.
other than that, that's the end of this one. Um, I got a couple more issues and a couple more reviews with other guests coming up. But again, thank you for coming out. And to the listeners, if you're on YouTube, Spotify, make sure you follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. But thank you for watching and thank you for listening. See you later.
Hey, thanks, man.